What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about TBULL today, Tron Bull. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into you guys. It is the 3rd day of July, and actually, I guess on TBULL's time, it's the 4th day of July. Oh, wow, yeah, because HTX, they run on the Eastern Hemisphere's time frame. You can thank Justin Sun for that. Thank you, Justin Sun, for making this more complicated than it has to be. Why can't it just be at the same time as everything else? Anyways. 00172 dollars right now. 23 hours 28 minutes left in the day here. Brand new day. Had a very bearish day yesterday, 16.1% to the downside, and that's not encouraging for a few reasons, right? It's never fun to see that kind of a drop, but it's also even less so fun. More so, it's less fun. Even more so, less fun. Whenever we're at all-time lows. On the plus side, my friends, there's not a lot of volume to back up yesterday's price. Moments like this, where you've been boring for an exceptionally long amount of time, right? Whenever you've been relatively boring and you're testing these lows, testing your faith, it's vindicated and then it's tried and then it's vindicated and then it's tried again. Now, now that we're below the all-time lows, we're at all-time lows right now, I think that there's going to be a lot of capitulation. A lot of people who, maybe bought the high, maybe bought back here, bought this high, bought these lows, whatever. Who, everybody's in the red right now if you're holding TBULL. So at this point, I think this is a perfect area for capitulation. It doesn't look like we're getting a whole lot of it. I want to see on Coin Market Cap what the volume looks like. That's even pretty low volume actually for TBULL, guys. Normally we see like 20 to 50%. That's 18%. So that's on the lower ends of like what we normally see, and even a little bit below that, honestly. The Tron ecosystem, TRX itself, is about to rip. We do have a lot of good things going on with TRX, and I think that when Tron, you guys, look, think about it like this, okay? Getting away from TBULL for a second, we'll come back to it, okay? And I'm making this video not to say panic sell. I don't think that it's a good time to sell. I'm not selling. I'm holding. I think it's the worst time to sell, quite literally the worst time to sell. But I'm kind of in a ride or die attitude with this thing, right? It's at such a low market cap. I think it's going to perform phenomenally. But TRX, okay, number 8 in crypto, okay? Whenever it flipped Doge, whenever it flipped Cardano, nobody cared. Nobody cared at all. Nobody cared, right? Hyperliquid flips SWI, everybody cares, right? It's like some big deal, right? But oh wow, SWI flipped Bitcoin Cash again. They're really wrestling. SWI's up a little bit this week, that's why. And Bitcoin Cash is actually a little bit down over the last couple days, but they're hashing it out for that 12th spot. All three of these are being very competitive to get into the top 10, but Bitcoin Cash is probably the only one that actually stands a chance of getting into the top 10. Past Cardano. But anyways, getting away from that. Tron, TRX. Nobody cares, and I shouldn't say nobody cares, but the majority of participants in the crypto space right now aren't paying attention to Tron. And there's some big things going on, okay? When Tron partners with Robinhood, or Justin Sun partners with Robinhood, whatever, same, but different, right? But the same, but still same. When Tron partners with Robinhood, or however it comes out to be, and it flips Solana, you best believe that no matter who you are, you're going to be looking into this thing. There's people, if Tron flips Solana, the thought might come up, as crazy as it sounds, it's really not that crazy, that maybe Tron is better than Solana. And people might start to look to that whenever it comes to development. Why is Solana so popular this cycle, right? For a couple of reasons. People like it whenever it comes to development, right? It's a little bit faster and cheaper than it is on Ethereum, right? There's things that are more effective for Solana. There's things that are more effective for Ethereum too. And there's a lot of development on Ethereum. There's still more developers in Ethereum than there is on Solana, I'm pretty sure. But Solana's seen a massive inflow. What happens when Tron flips it? What happens when people piece together that Tron has the most stable coin value denominated out of any other chain? Like, it's literally like over this USDT right here, number 3, that crypto, over half that market cap is on the Tron ecosystem. They're Tron USDTs, right? They're on the Tron blockchain. Over half of this, okay? What happens when the degens piece together that there's a massive amount of liquidity available on the Tron ecosystem and that it's better than Solana? Well, beyond developers, we also have a mass amount of meme coin plays, right? Solana's the place. If you want to buy meme coins or trade meme coins, sure. There's Tron, sure. There's Sonic now. There's Base. There's Ethereum, but it's all on Solana, right? Solana's the top dog. What happens, and the reason why is because it's faster and cheaper than Ethereum. What happens whenever Tron takes over Solana and people find out that it's actually just as effective as Solana, and if not even better than Solana? What happens then? I'm assuming the meme coin markets in the Tron ecosystem are going to rally. I think the Tron Bull, the mascot of Tron, anytime they do an in real life meetup or go to a conference or any kind of maybe not a conference, but any kind of like crypto event, they set up stands with the Tron Bull, right? It's always there. It's always going to be there. And as Tron gets bigger, so will Tron Bull. TBULL, Bull, people keep going back and forth. I have people telling me, yeah, but it's not going to be TBULL, it's going to be Bull. Whatever, man. There are so many Dogecoin meme coins. We've seen it. There's enough cheddar in the space to go around. Bull is at 4.2. TBULL is at 1.7. Maybe, why can't they both go up? Dogecoin went up last cycle tremendously. Shiba went up last cycle tremendously. They were both Shiba Inu spinoffs, right? Meme coins. Doge on Mars, Floki Inu, Dog with Hat, right? All these Bonk, all these little Dogecoin spinoff memes that have done very phenomenal. There could be more than one. It's the meme world. Things don't have to make sense, and that's kind of the point. That's why ridiculous money is made, and that's why I'm not selling my T-Bull. Not here. Not for this low-ass volume on this drop. Hell no. On a significant drop like that, no. No way. Ain't no way. It's probably a really good time to buy, if anything, but I got my hands tied at the moment, man. Low to high here. If we go lower, that's fine. We can go lower. We are in the oversold zone in the RSI. I don't expect this to persist for too much longer. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame real quick. We can't really use the shorter time frames than that because there's just such low liquidity that it looks so weird in the charts. I mean, here I'll show you, right? 1-hour time frame. I guess right now it actually doesn't look too weird, but look, see, this drop happened. There was some volume that happened here, but just no volume on the way down at all. We actually have a double bottom here. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we were moving up today. By today, I mean the 4th of July for HTX. You got some gaps to the downside. Yes, you're oversold. You're pretty damn... Oh, whoa. You're pretty damn oversold, but where we are in the oversold zone is where we found support virtually every single time, like whenever we get this low. We don't really go lower than this, so yeah. If we are to move up from here, that gets us set up to, if we see a lower low, to have some bullish divergence form on the 4-hour time frame. And with that, I would think, being at all-time lows, this is a prime opportunity for people to capitulate, for people of who are interested in buying this thing. It's a prime opportunity to buy. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I'm just sitting on my hands, man. I'm really sitting on my hands. I'll tell you what. I'll sell Tron Bull regardless of where the price is if this happens, okay? I'll sell Tron Bull right at this price if this happens. If Tron breaks out, partners with Robinhood, all these things I've said happen. It flips Solana, all these things that I've said have happened, and Tron Bull's still at the same price or lower, I'll have to cut my losses there, whatever it is, right? At that point, I'll give up on it, right? Because this is the whole story. This is the yarn that we're spinning. And if that doesn't get, if what we're weaving in our heads is not found in reality, then at that point, it's time to throw in the towel. But we haven't seen anything yet, right? Tron's just starting to kick. I mean, look at this, man. It's just starting to kick up. There's some big things coming. And I think whenever we flip Solana, which, how far away are we from flipping Solana right now? It's $27 billion market cap versus 80. So what? That's a 3. It's actually less than a 3x, right? Yeah, it's less than a 3x, but about a 3x, a little bit less than a 3x. So 200%. Tron's got to move up 200%, and Solana just can't really move up that much. Well, on the bright side, guys, we have some targets that are up higher than just 200% for TRX here. If we're looking at this on a monthly time frame, real quick. Do I want this one? Maybe, maybe not. Actually, let's see. What about Binance? Okay, yeah, cool. We'll do that. I think this is such a bullish chart, you guys. You can't find a more bullish chart than this, other than like Bitcoin or Dogecoin even. Okay, golden ratio here. Yeah, we're going all the way up to the 2272 to the 2618. Somewhere in this zone. There's very little doubt that where this next move takes us, probably by the end of August, we're going to be up in this area. So what percentage growth is that? Okay. Let's see if I'm getting overzealous. No, that's perfect. That's right on par with what I'm expecting the average altcoin to do. $1.03 makes sense to me. If you didn't notice, $1.03 is actually a 3.5x. We need a 3x from here to flip Solana. Okay, 3.5x. That's on the low end. On the high end, we got a 6.5x. Okay. And then some people might say, and rationally, What about Solana? Won't it move up too? That's a very valid point. Yeah, TRX would have to probably move up more than just 80 to 80.5 billion dollars if it wants to flip Solana, because by the time it moves up, Solana will probably move up too. That's a very good point. So where's Solana gonna go, right? Well, if we're looking at this here, by the way, guys, Solana just had an ETF approved, right? And it's dropping. I'm pretty sure ETFs. Somebody asked right here. Let me look this up real quick. Hold on. Before we get into this, Sol ETF news. Let's just see. News updated. Rex shares Solana ETF boost price. Okay, but for how long? 22 hours? No, it did not boost price. So little known fact about ETFs. Okay, we had a good experience with Bitcoin's ETF, right? Absolutely, it was a great experience. But did you know this? That when gold had its first, and this is specifically for American ETFs. I haven't looked into other ETFs. I know there are other ETFs around the world besides just American ETFs, but specifically for American markets, because American markets are like some of the largest, if not the largest in the world, right, when it comes to stock markets. So I'm applying this to the American markets. When American ETFs come out in the American markets, Bitcoin is the first ETF I've seen in history that did not crap the bed immediately after the ETF came out. Maybe there's another one I can't think of, but gold, copper, silver, uranium, you name it. Any ETFs for anything, man. Whenever they come out, it tends to drop the price. You go into like a mini bear market, if not a full-fledged bear market. You don't recover for a long time, right? And there's some theories as to why that is. Stock market is open less often than the crypto markets are, so maybe crypto has less of a repercussion because of that. But I'm just saying, so if a Solana ETF just got approved, I'm actually bearish on that. That actually is not encouraging. And if we look at the monthly RSI kind of agrees, man. The monthly RSI does not look good. But let's say Solana does see new all-time highs. Okay, let's say that happens. Where would you go? All right, we take last cycle's high to low. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of doubting that we move all the way up to 670. But if we were to do that, that's a 4.5x. So then, in all fairness, Tron would have to see more than even its maximum predicted target if that was to happen. And that is about an average expected move. But Solana's been underperforming the average coin this cycle. I'm not thinking we get that high, personally. But maybe we do. And if we do, okay, whatever. Tron doesn't flip Solana, that's okay. I still think it'll gain attention as it's moving up through the ranks, as it's breaking out, as it's outperforming most coins in this market. You know, maybe Solana gets like a 4x. Maybe it gets at a minimum, I think it would see a 2.8x, and that would be actually more of what I would assume. But anyways, this is not supposed to be a Solana or Tron video. This is supposed to be a TBULL video, but trying to paint out the narrative. In all fairness, it does look like, I would think Solana probably does see new all-time highs. But you never know. Wouldn't it be wild? Wouldn't it be absolutely wild if Solana didn't see new all-time highs and this was some kind of large distributive phase? Because, guys, if Solana drops and Tron pumps, you better believe that everything I've said is actually only amplified, right? Everybody's going to be flocking to Tron. Oh, that would be so perfect. Then I'll tell you what. Being honest, this weekly RSI sucks. This is bad, actually. The weekly RSI tells me you want to go lower than this low. And if Solana goes lower than this low, you guys, we're seeing the fall of a tide. It happens every cycle, man. There are coins that are very prominent in the space that fall. And if Solana falls, Tron is hot on its ass. It's going to flip it real hard, man. Yeah, and that would bring a lot of attention. That'd be so. Tron's next on the chopping block. People think it's sweet or hyperliquid, but they're sourly mistaken. And this, whenever it grows, they'll see it. And then again, that'll reflect well. If Solana's dropping off, people are going to flock to something for meme coins. What's it going to be? The TRX ecosystem, absolutely. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.